So Elvira also got a recent update. Stranger Things just got one today. So they've been cranking out the code.
Oh shit, Kev! You know what?
But
we should do a hot take on Stranger Things. We played it.
Oh, we did.
Month.
That's right. That was the final pre-coronavirus Buffalo Pinball Birdie Even Pinball.
Should we do can we, because we like to clip these too, right? Because it gets people
I gave
going.
up on it after I got destroyed by doing one of them. I was like, this is not worth it.
Oh, you got destroyed in the comments?
Yeah. No,
that's the best,
I think
though.
Pinside lost their minds, surprisingly.
Good. Give them something to do. They're bored, Kevin.
That's true. All right, we'll give them something to do. All right, let's talk about
the edge. Depression's kicked in. Everything. Just put them over the edge.
Stranger Things. We've played it probably 4 games each. Let's give some impressions.
All right, this is a hot take on Stranger Things. So we played 2 hours. We were in front of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the time we were playing. We did this on the stream, and this is the LE version. So we can only speak to the LE. Going into Stranger Things, we've heard nothing but bad things about it. Nothing but bad things. Especially the Pro, because I think that's what people had most experience on, right? Because they were on location. We're talking like just lack of code. We're talking the Demogorgon, just you couldn't get it in its mouth or whatever. Things were falling apart on it, like just terrible. Mm-hmm. Shots aren't great, all of that. So,
the post that was supposed to hold the ball is just flying out.
So our level of expectation couldn't have been lower, which is not a bad way to go into a game, right? Because you're not expecting much. So I will say this. First of all, in seeing the LE, so the LE has a projector on it. And it also had, we're playing James' game. He had to go out and spend like almost $300 to put in the UV lighting, which is stupid, after buying a fucking LE, which is how much, Kevin? Like $9,000?
Probably somewhere around there, yeah.
What a kick what a kick. Whatever. All right, I'll stop there. But it looks good. Like the projector it's a cool idea. It's used in a unique way. It's not just like the projector on a screen in front, that thing that comes down that blocks the Demogorgon, but it's on the ramps. It even was projecting on the spinner too. I don't know. I thought like, that's something new. It's pretty good. It's a good looking game, I would say. The LE. Now, obviously, the Pro doesn't have the projector, so it's going to be a different story. That was pretty good. The shots seemed fine to me. In terms of like the flow and the function of it.
But that was after James spent 20 hours getting them to feel that way.
Oh, I was building up to it.
I'm sorry. I couldn't hold it in anymore.
We started low, then I'm pushing up, and then I'm just going to come like a child and knock over like all the Lincoln logs.
All right, I'll just sit back and I'll let you build.
But it's true. It's just nonsense. So, all right, here's the deal. Here's the truth behind Stranger Things. So it looked pretty good. The shots weren't bad. The code was just very basic and needs a lot more. Fine, whatever. That seems like a lot of Sterns. Here's the problem. So James was the person we went to, the house. You can watch the stream. Dr. Ben was there too. Dr. Ben bought a game. They both got a game. They both told us that they spent 12 hours each getting their game to work properly. And I was like, really? Like 12 hours? They're like 12. And James kind of was like, he's like, honestly, it's probably more closer to 20. He said that in 100% serious. He's not exaggerating. Think about this. The dude bought a $9,000 some dollar, whatever, $8,000, $8,500, whatever. I don't care if it's $100. All right. What product do you buy that's not a build your own thing that you have to then spend a minimum of 12 up to 20 hours getting it to work right?
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's just it's unacceptable. And if you're not spending that time, then you probably don't know the difference, right? You don't know any better. It's just like, okay, this is how it plays. I'm going to play it. But yeah, even that, like during the stream, he's like, oh, let me take this thing off because I was messing with this, trying to make this play better, and it's not working. So even during the stream, he was making little adjustments to it.
Yeah, dude, he was holding he's like, he was on edge. He's like, I just hope it holds up through this 2 hours. And you could see him like, he's like looking at it. He's like, like things aren't working right. Dude, God bless those two guys. They're Stern fans. They both have the means to buy like new games all the time, and they can buy LEs. But you can tell they're just at their wits' end with that. Like, these are the best Stern customers, like some of the best ones, right?
Yep.
Here's the thing, dude. Stern had to have known that these were broken, and yet they shipped them anyways. This is two for two. You can go on Pinside and read the forums and read the reviews. You can look at all the ones on locations that operators are struggling with that people have sold. Stern didn't. They don't. Here's what it seems like, and tell me this is any other way. They don't care. They shipped for whatever reason. They didn't spend a few more months to fix it. They didn't care. They just shipped it. That's fucking ridiculous. That's why, it's hard to talk about that game and see past a lot of other stuff when you hear that. Like, I wouldn't say just steer so far clear of that game until you get some kind of confirmation that it's fixed and they've addressed it, because that is absurd.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's 12 hours of your life for a brand new game, up to 20 of which James probably spent.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I'm a fan of the series, so like this is a theme that interests me. I would be, it's not one of these games where I'm like, oh, it's a theme I don't care about, I will never own it, or that doesn't influence me. It's like, oh, Stranger Things, cool, let me take another look at this. And the first couple times you play it, it's like, this is kind of interesting, especially the LE, like you mentioned. It's got the projector. It's like something new I haven't seen before, like new things in pinball that I think they implemented it well. Aside from the stickers that fall off the stand-up targets, but the graphics, like they overlay it, it's very seamlessly integrated into the game. Like the arrows come up on the ramps and the stand-up targets light up with fire, and it's really cool. And like the atmosphere of the game is so cool, especially when you go into the upside down and the UV lights come on. It makes you feel like you're in the show, which is what you want out of a game like that. Some of the design decisions, I think, with the screen are weird and inconsistent with the show. Like, it's got a very 80s feel to the screen, but it's like the 80s how we think of it now, rather than it actually was. It's like retro
Correct.
wave 80s versus like actual 80s.
Correct. Yeah. You're right. I know that when we part of the stream, James has a nice lineup of games, right, along his wall, and I'm looking at Stranger Things. I was like, man, this looks really nice in the lineup. Like, it's just a visually nice game. It's too bad, man. I have trouble getting past that. If I can force myself to get past it, the rules are really just basic. I mean, there's stuff missing from it. So that's just another knock on it, that the game just wasn't ready to be released out into the world. So why buy it now? Why would you possibly go out and get this game?
Well, that's why they do the LE model. So you go, oh, I need a limited edition so I can have the little plaque on my wall of LE games. So I must run out and buy it. As a theme I love, I need the LE, so I got to buy it now. Otherwise, I might miss out. But if you're not an LE buyer, no rush for this game. Definitely, just hold off. Get a premium down the line if it's your ultimate theme. I do think I would. I haven't actually played the Pro yet, but after seeing the LE, I think if you're gonna buy this game, the premium or LE is the way to go because of the projector. It's just like an interesting feature that you're not going to get in another game, but you got to see where the game goes. There's so little in the code right now. It's so basic. It's just like, 3 modes on each side, a couple multi-balls. The Demogorgon's cool from like a obvious thing to do sort of perspective. Like, oh, I shoot these targets and the thing comes down and I attempt to shoot it in the mouth and hopefully it goes in there. I was able to shoot the Demogorgon a couple times in the mouth, but they have the meter now where even if you don't hit it, it takes damage, which is good.
Right. Smart. Yep.
So yeah, there's so much dependent on game setup on that game that if I could see why people playing it on location, if an operator just gets it, throws it out there and is like, here you go, have fun, and you can't shoot the Demogorgon, which is the main feature of the game, you're like, this game sucks, I'm not going to play it anymore. And the code's so basic, it's there's not that much to do, and it's pretty unbalanced. So this is a wait and see, and maybe, but it's a very questionable maybe.
Yeah, it just scares me that they released a broken game like that, because I feel like Stern had been getting better with their quality control, and then that just crashed into the mountains. And as someone pointed out in the chat, Rick and Morty right? With the release of that, there's been numerous problems with those games, and it's very frustrating because I do like to buy new in-box games every once in a while. It's like a tree, right? Every few years, you get a game. It's super fun. You open it up, and then the excitement is quickly diminished when it starts falling apart. I had to do some repairs on my Deadpool, and it's just like this shouldn't happen. Just shouldn't happen. Martha and I was working on it, and she's just like she's confused. She's like, how is this happening on a new game? So I don't know, man. I don't know why pinball quality control is so lax. Yes, I'm gonna say this that always comes out. Well, there's a lot of things that can go wrong. It's not. There's a lot of things that can go wrong when you make an airplane, right? But it works. Or my car. There's a lot of stuff going on in my car, but it's not falling apart. My car's not falling apart. So why is this pinball machine falling apart, or why is it broken? Well, there seems to be a lack of care because I can't see any other good reason. So let me just conclude this by saying, at least on my part, I wanna buy more new in-box games, right? I want to buy more Stern games because I think they make a lot of fun games. It's how can I, if you keep on just churning out games that are broken? I'd be a fool at that point.
Well, and the price keeps going up, but the quality doesn't keep going up with it, right? So you can make the argument that it's cost cutting. They're trying to keep the prices down, but they're not keeping the prices down. The prices are going up, and you got to wonder if there's projections that 25%. There could be 25% unemployment soon.
Yeah,
that's going to have an impact on everything, including the pinball industry. So
yeah, no doubt.
You can't keep pushing prices up when this is the first thing to go when you lose your job is the hobby stuff, right? You're gonna sell your pinball machines. You're definitely not gonna buy a brand new in-box game. It's an absolute luxury item that's gonna go to the bottom of the priority list. So I think they're gonna have to rethink the all manufacturers are. How far can you push these prices, especially now that folks are gonna be struggling more than they ever were.